The drill bit screamed into the bark like a banshee in the dead of afternoon, splintering wood and sending a sharp, acrid scent of sap into the air. My ancient oak, the one that had shaded my backyard barbecues and whispered secrets to the wind for decades, was being murdered right before my eyes. I froze at the kitchen window, coffee mug slipping from my fingers, crashing onto the tile with a shatter that echoed my shattering calm. There they were, the infamous Karen sisters, Linda and Brenda, hacking away at my property line like it was their God-given right, their faces twisted in that smug entitlement I'd come to loathe over the past year. It started innocently enough, or so I thought when I moved into this quiet suburban cul-de-sac in Maplewood, Ohio, 2 years ago. Fresh off a divorce that left me raw and rebuilding, I poured my heart into this little ranch house, planting flowers, hanging bird feeders, and cherishing that massive oak tree in the back, the last gift from my late father, who'd planted it himself when I was a kid. But the Karens next door. They saw boundaries as suggestions, not laws. Linda, the older one with her peroxide blonde bob and perpetual scowl, had complained from day one about the tree's branches dipping over their fence, dropping leaves into their pristine pool. "It's a nuisance," she'd snarled at me over the hedge one morning, her voice dripping with that faux sweet venom, coffee breath hot on my face. Brenda, her echo in yoga pants and oversized sunglasses, nodded like a bobblehead, adding, "And that fence of yours? It's encroaching. We'll handle it." I sighed then, a deep, weary exhale that fogged the air between us, trying to keep the peace. "Ladies, the survey says it's mine. Let's not escalate." But escalation was their middle name. That night, I heard the clank of metal tools in the dark, the grunt of effort as they shifted my chain-link fence a full 3 feet into my yard, claiming it for their expanded patio plans. My heart pounded in fury as I watched from the shadows, phone in hand, but I didn't call the cops, not yet. I was the new girl in the neighborhood, I didn't want to be that person. Instead, I stewed, the bitterness rising like bile, pacing my living room with the creak of floorboards underfoot, the faint hum of crickets outside mocking my inaction. Cut to this afternoon, the drill. I bolted out the back door, bare feet slapping against the dew-kissed grass, the cool blades tickling my soles as adrenaline surged. "What the hell are you doing?" I yelled, voice cracking like thunder. Linda looked up, drill still whirring in her gloved hands, a bottle of what smelled like harsh chemical bleach dangling from Brenda's pocket. Poison. They were injecting poison into the trunk, holes already weeping dark fluid that stung my nostrils with its toxic bite. "This tree's a hazard," Linda spat, wiping sweat from her brow, her eyes narrowing into slits. "Branches could fall on our grandkids. We're just pruning." Brenda smirked, crossing her arms, the jingle of her keys a taunting melody. "Yeah, and that fence? We fixed it. You're welcome." My breath came in short, ragged gasps, chest heaving as rage boiled over. "You moved my fence. That's vandalism. And this," I gestured wildly at the tree, sap dripping like blood, "this is destruction of property. I'm calling the police." Linda laughed, a harsh, barking sound that grated like nails on chalkboard. "Go ahead, sweetie. By the time they get here, we'll be sipping margaritas poolside." They turned to pack up, tools clattering into a toolbox, smug as ever, the sun glinting off their matching silver necklaces, some tacky sister bond charm. But fate, or maybe just dumb luck, had other plans. As I fumbled for my phone, fingers trembling, a voice cut through the tension from the other side of the yard. "Hold up there, ladies." It was old Mr. Hargrove, the reclusive widower from 2 houses down, shuffling over with his cane tapping the ground like a metronome of justice. I hadn't spoken to him in months, he kept to himself, tending his roses with gnarled hands that smelled faintly of soil and pipe tobacco. But today, his eyes sparkled with something fierce, unexpected, a spark of long-buried fire. "Mr. Hargrove?" I stammered, surprise softening my fury for a split second. The Karens froze, Linda's drill dropping with a thud. He nodded at me, then fixed his gaze on them, voice gravelly but steady. "I've been watching you two for years. Ever since you ran off my nephew with your complaints to the homeowners association about his dog barking. But this? This crosses a line. He paused, sighing deeply, the sound heavy with years of unspoken grudges, wind rustling the leaves above us like a chorus of agreement. And I've got proof. Security cams caught you moving that fence last night. Clear as day. Brenda's face paled, the color draining like spilled milk, her sunglasses slipping down her nose. You can't. Oh, I can, Hargrove interrupted, pulling out his phone with a shaky hand, the screen glowing in the sunlight. And there's more. Remember that anonymous tip to animal control about my late wife's cat? It was you. Broke her heart before she passed. His voice cracked then, a raw edge of sorrow piercing the air, making my own throat tighten. I hadn't known about his wife, or the cat, small details that suddenly painted him not as the grumpy old man, but a wounded soul, much like me after my divorce. The Karens exchanged glances, panic flickering in their eyes like faulty fluorescence. Linda stepped forward, voice rising in that classic Karen pitch. This is harassment. We'll sue you both. You have no right. But the distant wail of sirens sliced through her tirade, growing louder, a symphony of impending reckoning. I dialed 911 the moment I saw the drill, whispering urgently into the phone while they were distracted. Now, 2 deputy cruisers pulled up curbside, lights flashing blue and red, casting erratic shadows on the fence they'd so brazenly moved. Deputies Ramirez and Cole stepped out, boots crunching gravel, badges gleaming. Ramirez, a no-nonsense woman with a ponytail and sharp eyes, approached first. "Ma'am, we got a call about property damage." "What's going on?" I poured it out, words tumbling like a dam breaking, the fence, the tree, the poison, pointing to the evidence, drill marks oozing, bottle of bleach half empty on the grass, its cap still loose, fumes wafting faintly. Hargrove chimed in, showing his footage, the time-stamped video playing on his phone with tinny audio capturing their grunts and whispers. Linda tried to bolt, grabbing Brenda's arm, heels digging into the dirt as if to flee to their SUV parked askew in my driveway. "We're leaving. This is a misunderstanding." "Not so fast," Deputy Cole boomed, his deep voice rumbling like distant thunder, hand on his belt. They blocked the path, cuffs clicking open with a metallic snap that sent a chill down my spine, not fear, but vindication. Brenda whimpered, a soft, pathetic sound, collapsing onto the grass, tears streaking her mascara like black rivers. As they read them their rights, the air thickened with tension, my heart racing in triumphant beats. Linda snarled one last time, "You'll regret this," but her voice wavered, the bravado cracking like the bark they'd drilled. Hargrove sidled up to me as the deputies led them away, the sisters' protests fading into the cruiser's slamming doors. He sighed again, this one softer, almost relieved, patting my shoulder with a hand that trembled slightly. "Sometimes, justice takes its sweet time, but it comes. That tree. It'll survive if we act fast. Call an arborist." I nodded, tears blurring my vision, not from sadness but from a swell of emotion, relief, gratitude, a flicker of hope. The oak stood tall still, wounded but resilient, leaves rustling in the breeze as if whispering thanks. We watched the cars pull away, sirens whooping once more before silence settled, broken only by a bird's cheerful trill. In the days that followed, the neighborhood buzzed, the Karens faced charges for vandalism and trespassing, their perfect lives unraveling in court documents and whispers over fences. I planted new saplings around the oak, which healed with expert care, its scars a badge of survival. Hargrove and I shared coffee on my porch, his stories of the past weaving into my future, an unexpected friendship born from chaos. And as I sat there one evening, the sun dipping low, painting the sky in fiery oranges, I breathed deeply, the scent of fresh earth grounding me. Life's bullies might push, might poison what you hold dear, but standing firm, with allies unforeseen, brings the sweet sting of justice. It's not about revenge, it's about reclaiming your ground, one root at a time.